Can you hear us, Jimmy?
All right, I want to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. We have Magic Building remote with us today. We're trying to work on some audio difficulties, it sounds like, but we'll try to have that up and running as soon as possible. But we always like to open our court meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked today our treasurer, Joan Isaacs, if she would lead us. If you all will please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Joan. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on our agenda is the approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. You all have received a copy of those. Would you have any additions or deletions, or entertain a motion to accept those?
Motion to accept. Second.
We have a motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Have any further discussion?
I heard from you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, then, we don't have old business to discuss, but we do have some items in new business. You all have received a copy of the County Cooperative Extension Service budget. We just need to, I guess, just let the court minutes show that we did receive that. I don't think we need to approve that budget. Y'all have any questions about it? All right, next then we have our rural secondary road recommendations for 21-22. Basically, they have made the recommendations you see there, and our flex funds this year will be $430,693 that we'll be splitting amongst our district roads here. Want you all to,
Not even a mile apiece.
depending on what the Hinkle charges, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a full mile this time for flex. So anyway, that's our rural secondary recommendations. Then we need to get permission to advertise for our yearly bids. They'll be coming up in May, but we need to advertise those this week, and so we can get our local vendors to start submitting bids.
Motion to advertise.
Second.
A motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion?
Where are we going to be advertising these for bids? Are we going to put it on Facebook and newspaper?
Prior to put it in the newspaper, and then we'll probably take that and put it on our webpage and on
Put it on the
Facebook too.
website a couple times and all that, so.
We can keep Ross healthy enough to do that for us. Ross had an accident last week, by the way. We're glad to see him back in court. So, any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. And then we also need to ask permission to advertise for fire radios. I'm sorry, advertise to bid for fire radios. Is that right?
Permission to advertise. Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And then have an employee, part-time, Gail Davis. She will be replacing an employee that has been working for the Extension Office, and they hire them part-time through the county. They reimburse us for the expense of the employee. So Gail Davis would start on Monday, pending your approval of letting her become a part-time employee. The other one has resigned.
Motion.
Part-time.
We have a motion by Turpin,
Second.
second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next then brings us to our department reports. At our road department, you've got your road work requests. I glanced through and didn't see any speed limit signs. Am I correct in that? So then we'll entertain a motion to approve the road work request.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion?
Want to watch it on
All in favor?
Facebook?
Any opposed? And then I have a request to purchase 3,000 tons of rock.
Yeah.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, and second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And then I've got a request to purchase 500 tons of hot mix.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, and a second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and then I have a request here. We just transferred Eugene over to operator, which leaves, for the time being, leaves us searching for a road supervisor. But in the meanwhile, I would like to try to split the duties between Jordan, who's the assistant supervisor, and I'd like to let Ryan Price join him as an assistant during this search, so we're going to be asking more work of him. So we want to make the pay fair to him. Hopefully we'll be able to identify a supervisor.
Can I elaborate on that just a little?
Sure.
Is this just temporary, or is this?
While he's in this role, yeah.
There is nothing in the personnel policy that says that there can only be one assistant supervisor. And as the fact that we have such a large road department, and right now no technical road supervisor, it is a good plan for not much expense to have two supervisors. The only thing that will need to be done is basically kind of show a split of the duties, show maybe a split of the crews, and that way each assistant supervisor would have a certain, not necessarily area, but a certain sub-department to be said that they supervise. I think it can be a good thing, and we'll see how it works.
But legally, we don't need a road supervisor.
Well, yes, we do. We do have to have a road supervisor, but during our search for a road supervisor, we can legally have two assistants. And it might, it's not necessarily a bad thing due to the size of our road department and the size of our county. We have a very large county, as you all know.
So the pay increase would be temporary.
Yes, while he's in this role, yeah. Once we actually have supervisor, we'll go back to
The whole job be temporary, right? I mean, it's,
I hate to ask him to step up and do more duties and not be compensated. And that's kind of where we were 2 years ago. He and Jordan were doing that, but they weren't being compensated for it. They had hoped that eventually they would be, but they weren't. Entertain a motion to allow that position to be temporarily filled.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we have a request from Solid Waste. I'll let Danny come.
Hold on, something was left off. We need to 5,000 ton of total patching.
Motion.
Second.
5,000. tons of patch oil.
Well, that's a tanker, 5,500 gallon, yes.
All right, a motion by Ranshaw, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then now I'll ask Danny Maston. He's got a couple issues for the court.
First, I'll lead with what Steve was referring to there. We have a personnel issue at the solid waste department. An employee by the name of Nick Romer, who through a progressive discipline, through our admin code, has the number of write-ups to be brought forth for dismissal. So we brought it to our 109 board, and they voted to recommend termination of his position pending fiscal court's approval. So I'd ask for that approval this morning.
Motion to allow Danny to move forward with this.
Since the 109 board recommended, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second thing, we interviewed some part-time individuals for employment starting tomorrow, pending a physical. With no salary change, the fiscal court 109 board covers these two employees. Randy Dick and Canyon Smith are their names.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
All right. By the way, congratulations on a good week of cleanup. Seemed like a lot of territory was covered.
Yeah, I talk about that just for a second. We had a good day on Thursday. A lot of ground covered on 27 and just areas off 27. But Saturday, the groups that Operation Beautification, some of our local high school groups got out into other areas, so we were able to cover wide amounts of territory that we don't normally get picked up. And thank you to Jailer McCullum for sending a crew out to pick up those bags off the highway. So cumulative effort from a lot of groups in the county, and I would say it's a big success. Hazardous Waste Day, we had 180 cars come through the recycling center on Saturday. So it was a big week, and you can tell when you go out driving our roads, they're starting to look a lot better.
I appreciate everybody that got involved, and I'll just throw out, to our public, if you don't throw your trash out the window, our people won't have to come behind you and clean up. So please be responsible here in Pulaski County. We want to keep our county clean. Be proud of it.
Is there a state tire program going on anywhere close by?
Adair County, I think, has one coming up here in the summer. I think Lincoln County and those areas will have one in the fall, and then ours will be next spring.
Are residents allowed to take tires
Yeah,
up
if you're
there?
a Kentucky resident, you can take tires to any county that has these waste tire drop-offs.
Probably need to advertise that so people know they can get rid of these tires.
Yeah. The Adair County one, the closest one to us will be, I think, end of June, and then when Lincoln County, I'll put some information out when those are coming up.
And Danny, I think I'd be amiss too with there were several y'all working on this project, right? I
Yes.
saw Chris back here, and I know he worked hand in hand with you. I think Bobby Clue and tourism and
the Chamber, Tourism, Somerset Tourism, Lake Cumberland Tourism, SPEDA, Pride, Waste Connections, the Highway Department. So there's a lot of groups that went into making this a reality this year. So it was a big effort. We're going to, again, we were put off last year by COVID, and we had one in the fall, and get back at it this year's first back in the spring after COVID. So we're going to look at doing it twice a year. So we'll be looking at this again in the fall, the cleanup. So and all the students that out in the community that went out on their roadways and picked up 3 bags for the 3-bag challenge as well. So it's really trying to instill that cleanup pride into our community and into our children in the schools as well.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got, Aaron, you have a personnel issue here?
Good morning. We have one of our dispatchers, he's went to the prison for a full-time position. And we have a part-time gentleman who I'd like to recommend for a full-time position, that's Sawyer Beeler. He's been with us part-time for a little while through COVID. He's helped us out during the snowstorm, flooding, everything. He's a squared away dispatcher. He's a good kid.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, and a second by Wilson to hire Sawyer Beeler full-time. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. All right, now we've got a bid opening, I guess, for our jail. Do you have those, Martin?
Round one for a 50 by 100 building. Is that right? It's from Trustco LLC over in Liberty. $49,268.28. It was received on March 31st at 9:18, which I assume meets the requirement for it to be timely.
Do you need to have a committee review that to make sure
Give me
it?
just a second, let Charles review it, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You didn't have any local?
Okay, well, I guess we'll take a motion to accept that for review while they're reviewing it.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ranshaw, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We'll go to our treasurer for your reports, Joan.
Good morning. The first item of business I have is the third quarter report from July 1, 2020 through March 31, 2021.
Motion to accept. Second.
Motion by Ranshaw and a second by Wilson. Any further discussion?
Just how are we doing on our budget? Are we on track?
I'll get to that in
or-
just a minute.
Okay.
Further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
The second item I have will be two transfers, one from the jail, or one to the jail, one to 911. Both are from the grant fund, and both are for $150,000 each.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Now, to answer Mark's question, I am very pleased with the way our budget has gone due to all the hurdles and the circumstances that we have had to overcome during this past year. We all thought COVID would kind of be over and done with by now, but of course it's not. So due to all that, we are doing extremely well. Are we whole as we were a year before? No. I wonder all the time whether or not we'll be whole again. But that being said, I think we're doing well. Also, as everyone, or as all of you all know, it is budget time. I have been working diligently on the budget, As you all know also, that May 1st is my deadline to have a draft copy of the budget in your hands. I can assure you, if I have to work day and night, you will have it. I can promise you that. That's one promise I intend to keep, and God willing, unless I fall over right now, or you will have it. I will say also, without giving away any juicy details, I think it looks better. So, take that as you may, or as you will. But I do think it's going to be something that, will you be happy with? Probably not, but is it livable? Mark, I know you won't be happy, but it's something that I think that it is better. We are making a bit of a comeback, and I think that goes to the diligence of all of you all as magistrates and the great working ability of the citizens of Pulaski County. So, we're going, we're working, we're still in this, and we're still fighting. So, that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Come on back, Jailer.
Judge, it meets all the specification. If it pleases the court, I'd like to make a recommendation that you all accept the bid.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, and a second by Wilson. We have any further discussion?
Yeah, this is coming out of commissary
Commissary,
money,
it's
right?
coming out of commissary, yes.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank
motion
you.
carries. Thank you. Okay, I have one announcement. Do you need,
Finish. We need to go into executive session to discuss an issue regarding a business and retention of that business.
okay, and let me make an announcement, then we'll make a motion to go in. May 6th, at our Judicial Plaza at noon, will be the National Day of Prayer. If you all have time in your schedules to take a few minutes and come out for that. Hope the weather's nice, but I'm sure if it's not, they'll have backup plans. But it's going to be May 6th at noon at our Judicial Plaza.
Before we go into executive session, why we got somebody here, can I ask a question?
Sure.
I just real quick, wanted to get an update on where we stand, on what's going on. I know recently we seen in the paper that we have not been approved by federal funds for the flooding. So I'm trying to figure out where we stand on getting our paperwork to them and all that. So if somebody can explain because people's contacted me and say, why haven't we got this yet?
Yeah, if you want.
Mark, I'll answer that. And I
Yes.
don't know, when the governor first declared a state of emergency, we were listed underneath Powell County in Pulaski County, and I've got that in an email. But when they went through, so we toured with the people from FEMA, Aaron, what day was that? Yeah. So we met our threshold. So I think what they're doing with federal assistance, because Eastern Kentucky, obviously, Breathitt, and those places were a whole lot more homes. So I think they're phasing monies in on the more severe, but we have qualified and got our threshold and got pricing from small, medium, and large projects. Yeah, I don't know.
I just wanted to, I mean,
Yeah.
it was out there and everybody was talking about it, that Pulaski County, we all know we
Yes.
should be qualified. I'm not sure on the other end, how's the recommendation on the homes? I mean, did we meet our threshold on that?
No,
yet?
we had to have 25 or more homes. And then when you get, for example, Breathitt County, as another county, they lost their water source. They lost, I mean, it devastated several places. So that's that's why they come in a whole lot higher priority than us. Not to say we're not, but there'll be phases of this federal disaster money come from FEMA.
So we will be declared
Yes,
emergency. It
and
just
they had
just
already-
hasn't happened yet.
They had already sent us some monies, but then they sent us a form that shows us a breakdown from, for example, an entrance tile washed out is $3,700. A medium job, for example, Piney Grove in that corner where it just messed the guy's fence up, that's a medium size. Then you get the public road, Clay Hill, Strawberry, that's more. Wesley Warren Bridge was a big one. Hammond's Camp is another one we just found, is a big one. So we have relief monies coming.
So I just wanted an update for the community because they're asking
Absolutely.
questions and stuff like that.
It's a
And
process.
Maybe our newspaper can update.
Yes.
the
And
community.
for extra clarification on the residential side, what most people out there don't realize, and most people took a little damage, you know, they lost property and they had carpet ruined, they had drywall ruined, they had personal property ruined. But what FEMA looks at, they want to see 25 homes with 40% or more structural damage, and that's what we don't have. We don't have structural damage. We do have a lot of personal property damage, but not structural damage, and so that's where that threshold is for the residential.
But there may be, once it's declared an emergency, may be low-interest loans that people could apply for, not really replacement, but maybe some low-interest loans.
I guess that's possible. I don't know who would make those loans, maybe through the
Could be the
SBA.
government, probably, yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where that is. Thank you, Dan, for that update.
Thank you.
Okay, so we actually have two issues then to discuss in executive session. We also have a potential property purchase to discuss as well, so we can entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, a second by Strunk. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I'm going to ask, since we've got Magistrate Wilden remote with us today, if we could ask everybody else, I need Linda to come in, if you would, to our executive session. And we'll try to be brief as possible and reconvene just as soon as we can.
At least I know,
There you
you're
go.
easier to get to
Okay,
now.
we need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion?
Why you?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we did meet in executive session. No action was taken. With no further items on the agenda, we would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Carries.